So primetime coach Deion Sanders popped up on Shedeur in Cleveland. What does that mean? Not sure. For as popular as Deion Sanders is, and for as polarizing as both him and Shedeur are right now, he's in a situation where, and a he being Shedeur, nothing has really changed. Deion popping up right at that particular moment hasn't really changed anything. If Deion Sanders can't make the Cleveland Browns offensive line block any better, he's not helping Shedeur. Now, everybody knows that Shedeur is getting the short end of the stick. He is being judged, I don't want to say unfairly, but the criticism he gets is the same criticism as everyone else gets, but everyone else has the 5, 6, 7, 8 games under their belt, or you just struggle in your rookie season. That's what happens in the NFL. There's not too many rookies that are just going to come in and just automatically light it up. It might look like a certain thing, and you might see glimpses that we have seen in Shedeur that we didn't see in Dylan. The only glimpses we saw in Dylan was in preseason. You got to get the whole picture. It's a shame because he was a first round talent, and he's getting 5th round opportunities. That's the problem with this. If there's any conspiracy or anything like that, is that now that they can put Shedeur in that box now. That's the default go-to. Well, he was never that good anyway. He was only a 5th round pick. Like, come on, let's be for real. Let's be for real. Because nobody was saying that when his grades came out. And everybody trusts the grades. And guess what? This week in particular is very important because he's going up against Cam Ward, who was the number 1 pick. And let me be honest with you, I thought he should have been the number 1 pick. But if Cam Ward is struggling in Tennessee, what do you think Shedeur was going to do? They in a bad way as well. That's why this game is so important. Because you get 2 good quarterbacks on 2 bad teams. Both the teams have bad blocking. So this is where you can literally say, all things being equal, this is when you can use that. Because they're both on bad teams with bad offensive lines and arguably bad coaches. Now, Kevin Stefanski could have been a good coach at one point in time, and he was at one point in time. But the way they've messed this up this year is, I've never seen anything like this before. From the coaching staff all the way up to the front office. This is just like everybody is doing their own thing, hoping for the best. Shedeur has not been great, but Shedeur has showed me signs of greatness and enough to say, hey, I want to see him more. Let's develop him. Let's see what he can do the more time he's in there. And he's looking better. And then you get all of the nonsense with Jerry Jeudy and all this other kind of stuff. Now they sitting down offensive linemen, and I don't know what they're doing. I know this, though. The tape don't lie. So everybody can say the shortcomings of Shedeur and what he needs to work on, and that's fair. That is fair criticism. But you can say the same thing about any veteran quarterback in the league. You can say the same thing about any rookie quarterback in the league that's had 6, 7 starts. Everybody's going gaga over Bo Nix. Go look at Bo Nix's tape. Bo Nix has his issues too. The only difference is he got a better team around him. Everybody's going to have their conspiracies on why Prime showed up. Him and Kevin Stefanski, they're going to talk about some things behind the scenes. And even in this little video clip on Instagram, I'm going to assume Bucky took this. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I do not know. One of the audio clips, a lot of the audio stuff is just from a distance, pleasantries and, shaking hands and stuff like that. They showed a brief interaction between him and Kevin Stefanski, but you see Shedeur turn around looking at him like, hey, I got to talk to you, and insinuating that there's going to be some things that they're going to talk about off camera. Now, did they do that just to get the clicks and just to, I don't know. But I thought that was kind of telling. But at the end of the day, I think it's nice that Prime came to see his son. It's going to generate headlines regardless. It generated headlines when Shedeur surprised him down in Colorado. He wasn't supposed to go down to homecoming for Colorado, yet he showed up. Prime was surprised, and it was a good moment and all of that kind of stuff. I don't think it helped Colorado. I think they lost that game. Prime is just returning the favor. And he's got enough cachet that he can pop in to see his son. The Browns organization didn't have to let him in. He got to check with them. He can't just show up. So I would imagine he made some calls and got some approvals before he just showed up and was walking in to practice. You don't just do that. I don't care who you are. You got to at least let somebody know. So my guess is somebody with the Browns knew this was going on. And if they didn't, and he just popped up and they let him walk in because he prime, to me, that would be very surprising. But that's not the story. The story is that he's there and everybody thinks that there's going to be some reckoning, or like, I don't know. I don't know what people expect. And again, Deion has every right to go see his son, but there's some protocol that you got to go through, and it is my belief that he probably went through. He don't want to. Deion don't want to make no waves for his kid. He ain't just gonna show up and just be giving out orders. That only makes it worse for him. Conversely, as I said this last week, look at all of the stuff that was coming out with Dylan Gabriel and his fiance saying stuff on social media. And I was like, don't do that, because anything that happens outside of the locker room, I don't care if it's from Prime, if it's from a fiance, it ends up coming back to the players and not in a positive way. I'm going to assume that Deion followed protocol, checked with some people, made some calls, and got some permission and approval to just, quote unquote, pop up. And what is Kevin Stefanski gonna do? What is he gonna mean mug him all day? Nah, come on, we got to keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. And like I said, man, I love Deion Sanders. I love what Shedeur is doing. I'm hoping Shedeur will continue to get the opportunities and he will make the most of them. But if Deion Sanders can't make that offensive line better, can't make Jerry Jeudy play better, I don't know what he's gonna do for Shedeur. Shedeur been getting pep talks from Deion his whole life. There's nothing that he can tell him at this given moment. What he need to do is bring Travis Hunter up in there and see if he can help him out, because you do what you can do. Keep on doing what you do. Keep on. He missed the throw. I thought the throw last week that he threw long on Jerry Jeudy, I thought it got captured by the wind. However, after having watched the tape, it did not look like the wind was at his back. It looked like the wind was kind of dead at that point. But even then, it's still hard to tell. I'm looking at an end zone copy, and I'm looking at the flags on the goalposts. They weren't moving too heavy. So I was like, okay, maybe he got a good spot to throw the ball, and he just threw it long. That's what it looked like to me. So he should have put a little bit of air on it. But I understand. You win some, you lose some. That's what quarterbacks do. Go look at all of these other quarterbacks. Look at what Dak Prescott did. Look what Sam Darnold did. Everybody misses throws, especially rookies. But the people that are in Shedeur's camp want to bring that up. The people that are against Shedeur Sanders want to use that as a negative. Oh, he missed that throw, and you got to make that throw. And well, no duh, he got to make it. But let's keep it real. Let's keep what the expectations are. Right now, I want Shedeur Sanders to play good. Just good. When you play good, you can get to great. But he's not comfortable where he is. They don't have a consistent offensive line. They do not get consistent blocking. They do not get consistent coaching. You're on the goal line. It's cold outside. Put the tight end at quarterback and call a wildcat play on the goal line when it's cold outside, and somebody that hasn't been taking stat. When you get what's his name, Judkins has been having a great rookie year, and he missed time, and he's still producing. And on the 1 yard line, you take the best running back on the field and give him the ball. Coaches do this all the time. Put the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them make plays. If Stefanski was smart, every time he gets in that end zone, my first look is going to Harold Fannin. Not Jerry Jeudy, Harold Fannin. Because he seems to be the only one making plays. Unless you're going to try to figure out a way to put Myles Garrett on offense. Because he's been the best player on the field in every game they've been in. So, again, glad to see Deion popped up. It was a big media thing. Everybody's making videos. I'm making videos. Okay. But at the end of the day, there's not much Deion Sanders can do other than support his kid. He can't make the offensive line block better. He can't make the play calling better. He's got to trust that Shedeur is going to make the right decisions and put the ball in the hands of his playmakers and put points on the board. That is all that Shedeur Sanders can do.